Mark Scanlon, Director of the League of Ireland. First ever Avenir Sports All-Island Cup final. From an FAI point of view and a league point of view, you must be happy with how the competition's gone.
Yeah, we're absolutely delighted. Look, it was a good concept this year. We discussed it with the clubs back at the start of the season when we were setting the calendar, trying to obviously base around the preparation for the FIFA Women's World Cup as well. So the competition came about from there, and it's been really, really exciting, very competitive, right up until the final whistle today. I think from the first whistle in the first day of the group stages back at the start of June as well. So really happy with how it's gone.
In terms of the reason for the Cup existing is probably the World Cup break, but has it put itself in a place where maybe it's under discussion for next year to retain it?
Yeah, well, there was a few reasons around it. That was one in terms of the time and way it is, but the competition was on the cards anyway. The League Cup that was there previously obviously disappeared. There was during COVID we went back to the two competitions, and we wanted to do something a little bit different to change up the games programme as well. A lot of teams from League of Ireland play teams from NIFL in pre-season on a regular basis, and we just like to make that a little bit more competitive, and I think it works really well for both leagues. We're obviously both summer seasons as well, so you know, if it's something we can expand on for next year, we'll sit down, we'll review this competition with the guys from NIFL as well, get the feedback from the clubs and the coaches, and hopefully see where we can bring it to for next year and beyond.
How important was it, I suppose, to have both associations represented in the final as well? I know you don't set out for that, but it is a nice little circumstance at the end.
Yeah, it's funny how it worked out even in the semi-finals as well. At one stage, the last day of the group stages, it looked like there might have been 3 teams from NIFL, then maybe 2 and 2, and then it ended up with 3 League of Ireland. So it was competitive right to the end, and then it worked out nicely, obviously, for the first year in particular, to have one from each league here in the final. And look, both teams put on a really cracking final for the spectators that were here today, and those watching on the stream as well. So yeah, really good, and it worked out nicely, and congratulations to Galway United, first year in the league as well, taking over from Galway WFC. So it's a brilliant story for them, and fantastic effort from Phil, the players and the backroom staff, and as well as everybody at the club. So it's a great final.
As well as that, in terms of the script for the competition, sponsors from Galway, winners now from Galway, it's got a nice little ring to it.
Yeah, it worked out quite nice as well, and you know, Tommy and the team at Avenir Sports have been fantastic with us when we pitched the ideal sponsorship for the competition. They obviously work with both leagues as well in terms of the analysis software, so coming on board was brilliant. It worked perfect already, and then to see Galway United in the final and then win it, I'm sure they're happy sponsors as well to keep it local. So brilliant. In
terms of obviously women's football at the moment, a lot of hype around the World Cup participation. A couple of players from the league and a couple of former players from the league involved in the Ireland team. How important is it now that this league properly exists in that space of feeding players into that level?
Yeah, look, I think the league's done a fantastic job over the years developing players. You know, our sponsors in the league, SSE or Tristy, have done the campaign about the league that takes you there over the last couple of weeks, and you can see the amount of players in the photo shoots that were done in the World Cup who've come through the league and played with the club. So that's really important. But yeah, from our point of view now, with the coverage that's around the league, the coverage that's around women's football in general, to kick it to the next level, we'd love to see more professional players stay here in the league at home. A lot of players have come through the education system again, which you would have seen highlighted last week as well. So we think there's brilliant opportunities for our players to stay here. The clubs in the League of Ireland have done an incredible job in bringing professionalism now to the next level as well. I mean, just look at the facilities here in Sligo Rovers as well, and the rest of the clubs that have made sure the teams have been playing in the stadiums, getting all the same treatment as the men's teams. So I think women's football has really been embraced within the League of Ireland, and it's just ready to explode to the next level. And the inspiration that the young players coming through the academy now, under 17s and 19s teams, will get from this competition, from the league and from the Women's World Cup, I think women's football has a really bright future in the country.
Excellent, Mark, thanks for joining us. Sorry for putting you up against the music, but I'm sure the Galway girls are going to have a good night tonight anyway. Listen, thanks for joining us.
Plenty of excitement behind us anyway, so they'll have a good evening.